was like, wait, did I say it weird?
Well, hi.
Oh, hello there.
Well, hi.
You were like, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. That's probably how I said it. Thanks.
Every time Lee and I hang out, we both have accents.
We don't know.
What's yours? Hi, friend.
Yeah, we talk country every time we hang out
hello.
together.
Well, hi.
Hi, friend.
I'm hungry.
Did we start?
It's going.
Okay, let's do it.
Jeremy and Ramona, welcome to our podcast. Come on in and we'll have a blast.
I wonder if one day this will get annoying.
I don't know. We can always change it if people hate it or if we hate it.
I think it's okay so far.
For now, it's great.
For now,
It's a good intro.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's pretty good. It gets people hyped.
Yeah.
At least it gets us hyped, maybe.
I think today it did not get me hyped.
Oh.
That's all right.
I don't know.
What gets you hyped?
Wait, let me hear it again.
All right.
Jeremy and Ramona, welcome to our podcast. Come on in and we'll have a blast.
Okay, a little more hype. A little more hype.
I think it's a good one. It's a good intro.
Okay,
All right.
welcome to Humaning, episode 2.
Hey, guys.
We're back.
It's me, Jeremy.
It's me, Ramona.
It's me, Lee, being a special guest once again.
Yes, our friendly neighbor and friend that comes in and just hangs out with us.
Just like to be a part of the conversation.
Absolutely. You bring great banter.
Thank you.
Got wicked good banter.
Wicked good banter.
What's our...
Today we're talking about relationships.
Relationship.
I feel exhausted just saying that word. Relationships. Relationships. So we're gonna go off and start with Jeremy and myself, talking about our relationship status. Lee, you can join in or not join in whenever you feel like it.
Okay.
All right. Let's go.
Okay. Well,
Jeremy, what's your relationship status?
my relationship status is married. I've been married for 3.5 years.
What?
Dang.
Who are you married to? What? I never knew that.
Yeah, her name's Jill. She's great.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's great.
Lee and I agree. that she's
Great wife.
that She's great.
She's so pretty.
good.
Y'all. Like,
Extremely
good
pretty.
job, Jeremy.
I was like amazed.
Yeah, she's.
It was great. The first time you met her was hilarious.
It was pretty funny.
It was great. She's very beautiful. She's so yeah, we've been married for 3.5 years. She's in the National Guard actually, so she's been away for 5 months,
Which is insane.
Dang.
which has been tough to say the least.
Insane.
I bet.
Yeah.
What's the toughest part about that, you think?
It's just so weird, like, because you're so used to going home and them like being there, and then when you go there home every day, it's still, you don't get used to like them not being there, and you're just like, hey, you walk in and you're just like, and it just like takes the air out of you a little bit. You're just like, oh, because you're just like so excited to like unpack your day with them, and I think actually the worst thing is at night, like right when I get into bed, I realize like, oh, just me, huh? And like
That's so
it's
sad.
super. That's the saddest part.
What's the longest time you guys spent together?
Together?
No, because it seems like no.
Like
Let me
a
clarify.
month?
No, let me clarify. Because it seems like she's gone a lot. So what's the
Yeah.
longest time you've both had together?
I mean, well, like up until, because we were together for 2.5 years before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
So that was solid. She didn't go anywhere. And then I think she didn't leave until like the first 6 months of our marriage for an army related thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she left the first time for like 40 days, and it was like, ooh, that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
And then she left for like 2 weeks one time, and then 58 days one time, and then this has been the longest. It's like 150 days so far. Or something.
Progressively getting longer.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's like half a year.
I know.
That's half a year.
I know. And
Can't believe
she's
it.
supposed to be gone until.
How did you propose to her?
How did I propose?
Was
Yeah.
it
Oh, that's
romantic?
it was so romantic. Actually, there's a video. I have a whole like video of the proposal, which I'll have to show you because it's like I'm pretty proud of it. But
Aw.
so it was in Long Beach. There's this place called what's it called? No, I'm blanking. Anyways,
Okay.
it's like this loop, and it looks like what's that place in Italy where they have the boats like
Venice?
Venice?
Yeah,
It
with
looks
the
like that.
gondolas.
Yeah, they have
Wow.
gondola rides that go around
Mm.
in this little loop, and there's all these like really nice houses right on this canal, and there's like bridges and stuff. And so I use this. They have gondola rides that go through, and so they do this thing where they put like a message in a bottle, and you can write whatever you want on the message. And so you're on the gondola ride, and the gondola guy like puts it in the water secretly behind her, and then is like, "Oh, what's that?" And like she's like, "Oh, what the heck?" And he like scoots it over with his paddle, and then it basically led into like me proposing, and then I like turned around in the gondola and like proposed. I have this whole video I'll show you. It's super romantic.
That's so cute.
I had like a hidden videographer and everything.
Dang.
was
Were
sick.
you guys talking about like getting married before, or was it something you just like were like, okay, let's do it?
Yeah, we talked about it a lot. Like she was like very
Excited.
yeah,
about that.
very stoked about it,
Oh,
you know,
that's
for a while. And
nice.
so we had like had so many talks about it, but I was trying to like not get too excited about it because we were on the same page for sure, but I didn't want her to like know when it was going to happen.
Yeah.
How did you find out her ring size?
So she went with my sister like ring shopping just for funsies, and my sister was like getting all the info.
Oh.
Do you know your ring size?
No, I think I'm like a 4.5, 5, but I'm
Really?
not really sure.
I'm a 6.
I have really skinny fingers.
I'm like an 11.
I think
so.
I might be a 5. I'm not sure. 11.
Yeah.
Eh.
She said, "Eh."
What is your ideal way to be proposed to if you have one? Lee?
It has to be okay because growing up, I would watch top 10 best proposals on YouTube, and I would like flash mob.
Oh, flash.
Okay,
mob.
probably not that much, but
Come on.
but like I was really like into like being proposed to in a grand way,
Yeah.
but just something romantic that like takes the whole day
Aw.
and it like leads up to that moment would be like perfect to me.
Cute.
What about you, Ramones?
I don't know. All I know is I want to cry when it happens. I want to uncontrollably cry when that moment comes. Don't know what to
You
think.
just want to cry.
Don't
Just
know what's gonna-
It has to be an
uncontrollably.
emotional moment.
Don't
Cry.
know what will trigger that, but that's what I want.
You want to be like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Is it yes? Is it yes?" And you're just like, "Yeah."
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a movie.
I want to cry.
Like, yeah, Jill cried actually.
Oh.
She was
That's
like,
so sweet.
"Oh my god." And I was like, "Nice."
I would
Nailed
so cry. I'm such an emotional person.
Yeah. I am and I'm not at the same time. Like I'm emotional about weird things and then when you expect me to cry, I don't. So it's weird, but I want to cry at that moment.
Have you ever seen me cry, Ramona?
I've seen you cry. Yeah, of course.
I feel like I've never cried in front of you.
I've definitely seen you cry.
How many times do you think?
Like a handful of
Really?
times.
It's a lot of times.
I don't remember.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, probably.
Like-
Especially when it comes to love shit.
Okay.
Oh, perfect for today.
Perfect
That's
for
true.
today's
Oh
category.
my
Was it like an
Yeah.
ugly cry, or was it pretty?
No,
was your-
Lee's a very beautiful cry.
Thank you. I don't
Wow.
think I've showed you my ugly cry yet.
It's like a watery eyes that make her eyeballs glisten
I
kind of cry.
hate crying though. Like I hate crying in front of people. So when I do, it's just because it's like I can't hold it in,
Yeah.
and it just the waterworks just happen
Yeah.
I've become more okay with crying over the years. I feel like
in front of
in
people.
front of people, like it's still embarrassing, like, but and it's like, I don't know. It's just like you realize like they're human, you're human. This is what humans do.
We're all
Yeah.
just humaning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of strength to cry in front of people,
It does.
honestly.
Yeah.
It's you're very vulnerable.
I think the hardest emotion for me to show in front of people is appreciation, actually.
Oh shoot, really?
It's hard.
Really?
It's hard for me to really be there. Like, it's easy for me to be like, oh, thank you. But it's really hard for me to be vulnerable. Like, oh my God, you really, really helped me. I don't know.
Like, yeah, the genuine, like, stare you in the face, like, I'm so grateful for you. Like, to the
Grateful
point
for
where,
you.
like, you or them would cry.
Yeah, like it's vulnerable. That's hard for me.
That's tough. I have some friends who are really good at it, and I admire them for it because they're like, they like tell me like how appreciative they are of me, and I like I want to cry, and I'm like, and then I want to reciprocate sometimes, and I try to, but it's just like they're so genuine, and it's like when they are saying it to you, you don't want to just reciprocate just for the
Yeah.
fact that you feel like you need to, but it doesn't feel right. But yeah, I definitely want to get better at that for sure. What do you have a hard time showing people? What emotion?
Care.
Oh.
I have a hard time showing people that I care about them.
Damn.
It's only okay. It's only
All right.
it's only hard.
Okay.
No. Okay, wait, let me clarify. Like, okay, for instance, like family. Like, obviously, I care about my family, but sometimes I don't like always say it, or just like care and appreciation as well. Like, I care about you, I appreciate you, because sometimes you think that they already know it, but they don't. Sometimes you have to like say like, oh, you know what, I appreciate you, or like you're someone I really care about, and even with friends too.
That's true. You just feel like they should already know that.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't,
Yeah.
and
You're like,
sometimes they need to hear it.
Yeah.
you feel like if I'm around you and I'm spending time with you, that shows that I care or something. But like,
Yeah, it's hard for me to have like heart to hearts
Yeah. Heart
about
to heart.
how I feel about a person.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't think me and Ramona have ever had a heart to heart about how we felt about our friendship.
The most heart to heart
Go
thing
ahead. I'm just
that
kidding.
I've felt is during our wrap for season 2 when you wrote that booklet.
Yeah, see, that's something that I don't normally do.
Lee filled out like a 50-page booklet of like a questionnaire about like all the things she like likes and appreciates and blah blah blah. And when I read it, I almost cried. I was like, "That is so sweet.
Yeah,
That's
for-
the sweetest thing."
that's
Yeah.
kind of cool because it prompts like it out of you.
Yeah, because
instead
it's like I obviously really, really care about Ramona. I just don't say it a lot because it's like weird.
Yeah, and you're like, you feel so vulnerable. You're just like handing someone so much like power over you. Like, oh, you make me feel so great. Like, it's just weird saying that. I don't know.
I wonder if it's just like, I don't know. Like maybe it's something you just have to keep trying on. It's like
Yeah.
just trying it. Like you're scared to do it, but if you do it, because I have certain friends that I feel super comfortable with being like I love you so much. Like
Yeah.
even
You have to do that with people you trust, though.
Yeah.
You know, because some people will take advantage of that. I feel like.
Yeah. But then I have some friends that I've been friends with for 10 plus years, and I feel like I've still very surface level friendship, even though I feel like they're a close friend, but we've never had like deep like talks where we both like gotten emotional and like, it's just, maybe it's different. I want to say like maybe it's because we're guys or whatever, and that person or me, like we don't think that we can do that with each other. But then I have some friends who are very open and willing to, like guy friends that are like can get super deep with and cry in front of and stuff, and some don't. I don't know.
You know what's so interesting? Like, when you told me that the topic of this podcast was going to be like relationships, for some reason I only thought about like intimate relationships, but now it's kind of making me think about other like all kind of relationships that I have.
Yeah. I feel like we tend to do that. We tend to think like relationship is only your significant other, when it's like all the other relationships in your life are like so important as well, and need to be nurtured and need like and can fill you up in different ways, and yeah. So it's kind of cool.
I think it's interesting how I think it's all like I think they all cross hairs, if that makes sense. I think your relationship with yourself, with your family, with your friends influences your relationship with your significant other and vice versa. Like I think it all has to do with how you are as a person,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like it's nice to have good friendships. It's also nice to have, if you can, a good relationship with your family. And if you have a significant other, you know, if all of those relationships are fine, then it's like
Yeah.
creates a healthy balance. Like you always have somewhere to go.
Yeah, they like all complement each other. And
Yeah.
and
Do
you
you-
can call on them at different times for different needs, I guess.
Do you think it's possible to have, say, a very unhealthy relationship with all your friendships, but a very healthy relationship with your significant other, or like a very healthy friendship with your family, but very shitty relationships with your friends, or like vice versa?
Is it possible?
Yeah, like, do you think that's a thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you prioritize one over the other or whatever, it could cause conflict. If it's like, and it just depends on the situation, because some parents or friends would understand. Like some friends understand if you prioritize your, you know, your relationship with like a significant other, you know. And I think it's like different seasons though as well. It's like sometimes you need to put more time in with your relationship with your significant other. Sometimes you can put more time in with your friends and your family. And so I think it's constantly evolving, and it's just like trying to not balance, but just know what season you're in.
Yeah. Yeah.
True that.
I used to have that issue, mostly in high school, where I had a hard time balancing my friendships with like my like relationships and significant other relationship, and because I would spend more time with my significant other,
Yeah.
and then like my close friends would be like, "Hey, like you got to spend time with us too." But I had this significant other that just constantly wanted me to be with them and like hang out with them anytime I had free time, and so I would. And then my friends would be like you don't care about us, like you don't want to hang out with us. I was like, no, that's not it. Like I do, but yeah. And so, but I learned from that situation, and now I feel like I know how to like manage with both, like friendship and relationship. You have to make time for both.
Yeah, I think that's important. I really think that's important because I do that too. Like, I'm very, like, obsessed when I get into a, like, significant others type of relationship. And I think it's so important to keep your good friends and family around.
Yeah.
I did that in high school too. My first serious relationship, I like said like she was very like she wanted all my time, every single second. I wasn't in school or football or like doing homework, or sometimes we do homework together, but like she wanted all of it. And like she was my first serious relationship, so I was like, okay, cool. And like my friends, I was like, all right, see you guys, you know, like I'll see, you know, this is way more important to me right now. And I was like such an idiot about it. Like I basically felt like I dated her for like a year and a half. I felt like I didn't see my friends for like a solid year and a half.
That's so crazy.
And they were like pretty resentful towards me for it. It was me and my other best friend in our friend group both got into a serious relationship at the same time, and we both just like
It's crazy.
didn't hang out with them.
You can't make
bad.
one person your everything. That's
Right.
just unsustainable.
Yeah.
It is.
Sometimes it's nice to merge the two though. Like you bring your significant other into your friend group,
Yeah.
so then you could all hang out. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's nice.
That
That
nice.
is.
It makes it convenient.
That is, if
it's
you guys
possible.
happen to get along.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, that's ideal. But yeah, it is important, I feel like, to have, to some extent, like you both still keep your individuality as well. Like you guys can go do your own things, and it's not a bad thing. And then you can come together, and then sometimes you can mingle
Yeah.
everyone.
Have all of the above. I would love to keep my own friends, and I would love to have like a significant other where it's like okay for me to just hang out with my friends without them around. You know, like
And
that.
without them worrying
yeah.
or being jealous or.
That would be great.
Yeah.
My relationship status, I am single. I am mingling. I am singling in Los Angeles. I'm exploring. Learning about myself, learning about self-love, learning about dating men. Open to seeing what happens with women. Not really like anything, just learning, just growing as a human being, learning about myself. That is where I'm at right now. Got out of a very, very exponentially serious relationship about 6 months ago. Like way more serious than it had to be, but yeah. That is where I'm at.
Nice. We love a good single and ready to mingle.
Yeah. Just chilling.
Yeah.
Dating in LA is interesting, probably.
Dating in LA is so fucked up. It's all sorts of fucked up. Everyone is fucked up, and we're just all on a trampoline of fuckery together. Just jumping up and down.
There's just so many different types of people. Like if you're in like the Midwest or anywhere, like I don't know, maybe it's just because we're in a big city. I guess that's the thing. It's like there's so many variables.
I don't know what it is. It's the generation.
Maybe.
It's the population.
Yeah.
It's the location. It's everything.
All the above.
All
Yeah.
of the above.
It's like it's tough. It's tough. I try to like think about that sometimes. Like I don't know, just because we talk and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, like if I had to like
Some of
date
the
right now,
stories that I've
holy
told
cow,
you.
dude, it's like,
It's ridiculous. It's like science.
dude, that's unreal.
Thank you. It's science fiction. That's what it is. It's insane.
I mean, you could write a book about it or a TV show.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
Uh-huh. Dating apps are like the way to go though nowadays.
You just have to. And by having a dating app, I have met people that I would have never consciously been open about seeing. And I'm very grateful for the app because now I get to be open-minded and meet different people, different types of people. And I think that's so interesting. Like, I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah. I remember when I was dating still, I was on some dating apps and like, it was like kind of around the time when like dating apps started to become normal. It was like in the beginning of that, when like people were actually like meeting people on Tinder and like actually
Yeah.
falling in love and not just hooking up.
Yeah.
And it was like, it definitely like cuts out a lot of, like you learn a lot about a person before even like, like talking to them. Like you can like read their profile and be like, oh, this person has a huge red flag that like, I'm not going to even like pursue this. And then, I don't know, it just seemed like it accelerated the process.
Have you ever been catfished on a dating app? Catfish stories.
Not to the full extent. There's definitely been there was a date that I went on that like she looked nothing like her photos, and I was like, and we were going to this expensive sushi spot, and I was like, oh shit,
Ah,
and
shit.
and she was like fully aware that I was gonna pay for everything, and she
Wow.
was just ordering like the most expensive things, and I was like,
That's
like
whack.
right when I
Oh
saw her,
my
I was like,
God.
oh no, like that's not.
Oh,
She's.
no.
I was like, this. I
How
was like,
was she the same person at least?
she was. No, she wasn't even like. No, it wasn't the same person. Yeah, it was. It
Yeah.
wasn't like I fully got catfished.
Yeah, yeah.
Her personality was way different than I thought, and then she looked night and day. And like it didn't even. I could tell at some point that it was her, but like, yeah, it was
Were her
rough.
photos just really edited?
Super edited and like all perfect
Dang.
angles and like. Yeah,
Wow.
I was like, wow.
It's incredible.
But it's an experience,
It's an
a very
experience.
expensive experience. And she was like, I'll get this and this and this, and I was like, oh god, I didn't even want to like. I was like, we should have got coffee. Like,
Coffee is always the way to go on a first date.
Yeah, it's short. It's not going to last forever. You can always say you're busy afterwards. It's great.
it's a way to go.
Always FaceTime before you meet the person.
I agree with
That's
that.
a good idea.
I don't think I've ever like went on a date, maybe once, but like went on a date with somebody that I hadn't like talked to for like a bit and like
Yeah.
FaceTimed and actually like their personality.
Yeah, unless you're feeling really risky, like you want to
Yeah.
do some Russian roulette shit, like always FaceTime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth it if not. I mean, I don't even know if make myself sound so old. I'm like, I don't even know if they had FaceTime back then.
Or just like video chat.
Yeah.
You know?
They had
Video
Skype. They probably had
chat,
Skype back then.
Oh yeah, for sure Skype.
But yeah, it's got to be tough. Just wild stuff. What's our prompt?
How did we end up in our current relationship status? Anything you guys want to share?
So I met my wife while we were building houses in Mexico.
It's cute.
So it was sweet. It was funny because my mom was going on this trip. So my parents live in Northern California. They have like a home church they go to there, and this church every year goes down to Mexico and builds houses in like Tijuana or Tecate or somewhere. And she wanted to go on this trip, and she's like, "You should come with me. Like, we'll pick you up on the way down. Like, they're gonna drive down like in vans,
Yeah.
pick me up here, and keep going." I was like, "Nah, I don't think I can take work off, whatever." And like, my dad's like, "You should go. Like, don't let your mom go by herself. Like, blah blah." And I was like, "Maybe, I don't know. Like, I have to pay for the trip. I take time off of work. I was like, it'd be fun, but I don't know." And then my dad's like, I had a dream. He calls me like a few days later. He's like, "I had a dream you met your wife on this trip."
No.
Swear.
Get the
And
fuck
I was
out of here.
That's insane.
I was like, "Dad, like you're a crazy dude. Like, I'm not gonna go on a trip because you had a dream that I met my wife on this
Get
trip."
the fuck
He
out.
swear. And
That's insane.
dude, that's unreal. It was unreal. But it was so funny because like that, I kind of forgot about that. And then for whatever reason, like a few of my buddies were also going on the trip that were from my hometown. One of the buddies, I was actually leading the trip. And I was like, fine, like I'll go. So we ended up going. And then Jill was on the same build site as me. So she was like the other leader on the build site. And so I wasn't even going into the week thinking, oh, I'm going to find someone like a significant. I was single, like, and I was dating and stuff, or actually I wasn't even talking to anyone at the time, but I was single. And it was funny because she really liked me, but I didn't process it. Like at night when we'd say bye to each other, I'd be like, "See ya," and I'd give her like a little
Yeah.
friend pat. Like,
Was it love at first sight for her or you?
I think we both thought each other were attractive.
Yeah.
I just wasn't in the mindset of like, I'm trying to find a
Right.
girlfriend on this trip. I was there for like, I was trying to be there for the right reasons, to like
Yeah.
help people out, serve people and stuff. Not saying that she wasn't there for the right reasons, but she sneakily at the end of the week like was like, "Oh, we took some photos together. Like, let me send them to you." And she got my number.
Yeah.
And then we started like talking, and she ended up coming down to college down here.
Yeah.
And so it just worked out.
So cute.
Yeah,
That is cute.
it's wild.
How did I end up in my situation? Well, so I was in a 1-year relationship. It was pretty serious. Like we had just moved in together and everything. But all along the situation, he's a great guy, like, but there were red flags. And I don't think to this day there were red flags on his end. I think it was just me, which made me feel weird about it because it was only me feeling that it wasn't right. I think it felt very right for him. So he wanted to keep progressing and move forward. And so I felt weird feeling bad about it, but I kept going because I'm like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, right? Situation exploded one night, and now I am learning about how to prioritize my needs and to trust my intuition. Like I'm on that path, like on the path of how to prioritize what I need, what I think is important, what I feel is right. Because I think to this day, he would not. He'd be like, yeah, that was a great relationship, but like for me, it like wasn't the same thing. I didn't see it that way. You know.
It's tough. That's tough when it's like you want to be on the same page so bad, but you just aren't.
Yeah, we just weren't seeing eye to eye, and I didn't trust myself. Like, I didn't value my own opinion. I valued his opinion that everything was right and okay. But it wasn't. Like, in my opinion, it wasn't okay, and I didn't trust that. So now I'm learning how to do that.
That's important, though.
It's a huge lesson.
Yeah. I feel like I'm learning that, too, like, how to, like, nurture myself. Like, I mean, it's so important to, like, obviously, like, think about other people and be empathetic and all that stuff. But sometimes we do it to an extent where we, like, deny our feelings, to deny what we need and deny all that stuff, when
Yeah.
that's so important to nurture your feelings and, like, validate yourself, validate those feelings so that you can be in a healthier spot to then care for other people or, like, pour into other people. So, like, I tend to, like, if I'm sad or mad or upset, whatever, I just, like, suppress it and now I'm learning, like, no, I need to, like, think through it and be like, why do I feel like that? Why? There's a reason why my body's reacting this way, and I need to like not deny myself that feeling. Like, I need to even if I sit and just feel it for a little while and be like, okay, like, this whatever happened is making you feel this way, like, that's okay. Like, just feel it and just, like, process it instead of just being like, no, like, denying myself, like, you're not sad, you're not upset, you're not whatever, and just pushing it down and being like, no, you're cool. Like, you have so many things to be grateful for. Like, all this stuff. Like, it's okay to feel it for a little bit and, like, bring it in and, like, just be like, yeah, you are sad, and that's okay, you know. Or, like, yeah, this thing that this person said was hurtful, and it's okay to, like, be not 100% right now, you know.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of, like, just hold it and just, like, be like, wow, like, that sucks.
Yeah, you have to value your emotions. You have to acknowledge yourself.
Yeah.
I know some people that are like, oh, I have to sacrifice myself to be there for someone else, or else I'm being a bad friend or a bad spouse. Like, I have to do and I'm like, no, like you can value yourself and be a good friend still. Like, you can do both. And just because you sacrifice your own needs for someone else, it doesn't make you necessarily a better friend. What are your thoughts on that, Lee?
My thoughts are, I know from, like, past relationships, I very much had that same mentality where I was like, okay, I'm going to suppress how I feel. I don't want to start an argument. I don't, want to cause any problems. Because in the past, and, like, different partners I would always get, you're over exaggerating, or you're just, like, thinking too much. And so I would always get that. And so that made me kind of more like, okay, I don't want to start any, like, drama. So maybe I'll think about how I'm feeling first. And then I just ended up, like, suppressing it a lot. And just because I didn't want to, like, cause any problems. But in the end, it didn't really work out well, because I had all of these things that would upset me, and it would just build and build and build and build until I got to a point where I just lashed out. And I was like, you know what, we're done. And, like, the other person would be like, what the heck? Like, they wouldn't understand.
Where is this coming
from? Or why I took it to that level of, like, breaking up with them. And it was just because, like, I would suppress a lot of things, because I didn't like the feeling of, like, opening my heart to someone and, like, talking about things that made me uncomfortable and them completely invalidating it. But that also has to do with, what kind of partner you have. Like, if you have a partner who does that, then it's like they're not the one for you. And so now I'm just like it's just so important to, like, say what's on your mind. I do think you should, like, think about it first and not just, like, explode or, like, say something in, like, a rational state of mind, because it's just not good to suppress. Like, you end up beating yourself up and just feel like crap. So it's always good to just have somebody that you can talk to easily about how you're feeling.
Yeah. I know that when I am feeling a certain way, whether it's something, like, uncomfortable or whatever, I may not know why yet. I may not be able to, like, intellectually understand it yet, but I know that that feeling's valid. So maybe I can sit on it, think about it, understand where it's coming from, figure out how to talk about it, and then talk about it. But I'm not going to be like, oh, I shouldn't feel this way. Like, if I'm feeling a certain way, I am trusting that there's a reason for it.
Yeah. I feel like it builds resentment if you hold it in. And it's like, that's worse because you're not giving the other person a chance to like
That's
speak
true.
into that situation where it's like you're just trying to like you're like I'll just figure out my own, I'll suppress it, and it's like almost unfair to them in a way because and it's tough too because I don't like conflict either. I'm very much like if I can avoid a fight and just like laugh it off and whatever or like shrug it off, like I would rather that. But it's like if something is bothering you, you have to bring it up, and it's so tough because you can almost like predict how that person's going to react, but it's not your responsibility how they react to what you're saying. Like if you're like, hey, like, especially if you say it in a rational way and you're not like coming at them super hot, if you're like, hey, like this thing that you did, like it really hurt my feelings and it made me feel like very alone or isolated or whatever, like, and I didn't like it. You know, if you say that and then they respond poorly, that's on them. That's like their bad. At least you heard yourself say it and you stuck up for yourself in a way, and that's gonna like help release it and out of your body kind of thing, instead of you harboring it and being resentful and just being like, like I'll just take that and like bury it down and it's fine, whatever. Like,
Yeah. And I like what you said about like if you bring it up, if you have the courage to bring it up, it at least gives that other person a chance to maybe speak their side of it or help you feel better about the situation. It gives them the chance at least, versus if you don't and you just hold these grudges, like it may never get resolved.
yeah, it's so hard though. Like you
it's
have to be
hard.
ready for like for them to come back with anything. You have to be ready with any reaction basically. And that's
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
when you kind of can predict that the reaction is not going to be something you want.
I know.
You're just like, ugh,
Yeah,
this is going to
that's-
suck.
That's something I had trouble with a lot, is that I would always predict what the other person would say,
Yeah.
and that would like
Hold the mic
make
up
me-
a little bit.
that would like make me even more nervous to kind of talk about it, and would lead me to not wanting to talk about it, because I'd be like, okay,
But it's just in your head.
yeah, no,
And
exactly.
it's always the worst scenario.
It
yeah,
always
yeah,
is.
it's
Right.
always the worst scenario.
So tough still though.
I
Yeah,
can't.
It's scary.
I don't even know how many times I've had like rehearsed conversations with myself, like going back and forth, and I'm.
Where you like you're like, I'm gonna say this and then they're gonna say this and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna react this way.
Just like how you see in like a scene in a movie or a show, they're just like pacing around and like trying to rehearse what they're gonna say. It never, you can't think too much on it or try to rehearse it, because like you can't predict what someone else is going to say. That's not the point.
Yeah. I think sometimes we want the delivery to be perfect, and sometimes just you have to just get it out in some form. And it's like, as
Yeah.
long as it's not like in a harsh way. I mean, not, as long as it's in a way that's not gonna just get that person like to like lose their shit,
And honestly, if that person is losing their shit and
That's
hurts you and is an asshole, that person should not be in your life. That
That's so
person,
true.
it's just like if that person does that, and then now you really know. Now you know that that person should not be a part of your life.
Dang. Bruh. That's so true.
Bruh.
Yeah, because someone who's healthy is not gonna invalidate your feelings. They're gonna, even if they don't agree with it, they should validate your feelings, and then you can have a discussion about it, right?
Yes, there's some people who just don't do that though. They just gaslight you to like no ends. They're just like, you're over dramatic.
Like you shouldn't feel like that.
Yeah, it's
You're
so
just,
insane.
like-
It couldn't be me. Like
You wouldn't do that.
no.
Yeah.
But it's like there's some people who just don't like to take accountability. There's some people who just don't like to feel like they're the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so
It's very true. They're like, their ego takes over, and they're like, it couldn't be me. I'm not the one. It's because you did this, and that's why I did this, and so that's always
Crazy.
so tough.
What are some qualities, whether it's friendship, family, significant other, what are some qualities that are must-haves for you when, let's say, friendships and significant others, when you're picking those people?
For friendships, for me, I've always kind of had like that one friend. I've never really had like a lot of close friends that I like hang out with. And so I feel like when I meet somebody, they kind of have to be weird. Like they have to be weird. They have to be kind of quiet, but also like have their like personality of being completely like crazy. Because that's kind of how I am. I don't know. I really love weird people. I love people with like really weird personalities, or they're just really out there. It's just like my favorite people.
I like that.
That's a good sound.
That's good. That's for friends. For friends.
Yeah, because like quiet people, like they're very selective with who they like allow to show their like open side, and that's how I am. So it's like, okay, they trust me to like be themselves, and okay, then I'll do the same.
Dang, I don't know what I look for in friends. I mean, I think there has to be like a level of respect in a way. Like I see you, I respect you for who you are and what you do, and vice versa. And then, I think it's tough because it's like I'm thinking of like the ideal friend, right? The ideal friend would be like be able to be open and vulnerable with you and say the things like we were talking about, how they like could point out things that you're doing that they love, and that they felt comfortable enough in their relationship to point out, like to tell me when I was wrong, or tell me when like, hey, like I don't know if this is like the best thing for you or the best thing that you're doing. Like someone that can be real like that, but that takes a while, obviously. Like you can't just form a relationship and then someone's like, hey, like this is you're messing up here. Like, but I think that's important. Like I'm thinking about like the most closest friendship relationships that I have. Like it's all like there's so much love and openness, and we're so honest back and forth, but for both good and for bad. But it's not like, so when they ever, they come, it's so few and far between where they'll like really come at me with like, hey, like I think this probably isn't good or the right thing, or maybe like let's talk like about this, and they come to me with it in such a loving way that I'm like so receptive, and I feel I trust them so much that I know that it's coming from a good place. Whether or not I agree with it, like there's still a loving like banter back and forth.
we like a good banter.
Thank you for the loving banter.
So someone once told me that you can't pick who your family members are, but you can pick your friends. So you want to pick people that accept you for who you are, and you want to accept them for who you are, because you have the free will to choose who your friends are. It's not like you're forced to be with them. So you better pick people that you totally like accept, and vice versa. I think what's important for me in a friendship is someone that's accepting and also supportive. They don't let their own shit get in the way of being happy for you or supportive or loving you. That's important.
That's really good.
That's important.
That makes me think about when you have friends that are like low-key trying to compete with you.
Yeah.
I've had a friendship like that where it was like we were both kind of competitive with each other.
Was it a healthy competition? Or?
In a way, yes. Because we both like, I felt like we like bettered each other, but it was like the only kind of friendship I had that was like that. And it was just weird because we were very similar as far as like how we like our interests and like how like our style, and we were just very, very similar. And there was just like a little bit of a competition.
Yeah.
Which like I didn't really like. It didn't make me the most comfortable, but it was there.
Do guys do that too? Because I've had friendships like that, and I don't know if it's like a quiet subliminal girl thing where where you just want to like one up, or if it's just a human thing. I have no idea. What do you?
You
what
know
do
what?
you
Yeah,
think?
it could be like
I've
humans.
had a guy friend like that.
Yeah, humans.
Yeah.
We're very like competitive.
Competitive about everything.
And like, yeah.
Yeah, I think, you're, keep going, sorry.
Oh, what was I gonna say?
Humans are competitive.
It definitely is like a subliminal
Yeah.
type of thing.
You're not aware of it. Like on the surface, you're like, "Yay, that's great!" But then when you go out, you're gonna be like, "I want to look cuter."
But when I am aware of it,
I do that with my guy friends all the time.
I want. Do you? Are
Yeah.
Is that a joke? Or?
No, I swear, no. Just,
Okay.
Do it! Just do it!
I don't know.
I don't like it when it's like an obvious kind of competition.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's toxic.
That's when I'm like, okay, no, it's fine. You
Yeah.
can
yeah, you can win.
You can win. I don't need to win.
yeah.
Not that serious. I had a friend in college, and he was competitive about everything, like to where the point like where me and my other friends would joke about him,
Yeah.
and we'd be like, oh, like, hey, like, happy birthday, and he'd be like, oh, dude, I had a way better birthday than you did, like, and we're like, oh, yeah, what, and like, like he was competitive about everything, like.
That's so
he
annoying.
Wanted to beat you at anything he could. Whether it was like I had a way better summer than you, I'm way better at video games. I have way more friends than you, and you're like, it's not a competition.
Maybe
Like,
people like that are just really insecure.
yeah,
about
like I
their
got more
own-
fries than you.
Yeah.
I would
And
just
you're-
laugh. You're like,
Yeah, it was like he was so fun to be around sometimes, and like also we also like all hated him sometimes.
Yeah.
We're just like, dude, chill, dude. We're just trying to hang out. And he could be like, oh, I could chug way more water than you. And you're like,
What
That's
the
great.
hell?
like, you're like, calm down. So
I hate knowing I'm in a competition because
Mm.
then I just automatically want to lose because like
Yeah.
I hate feeling like I have to prove myself. To me, it's just so weird. I could never do any kind of competition. I hate competitions.
really.
I mean, some are great if I don't care about it or if I know that I'm like just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
But if I was in like an acting competition, I wouldn't want to do it because it's just like I don't want to get my feelings hurt.
Yeah. Is it like, are you worried at all that you'll get too competitive and then like you'll get vicious or something? Is it that? Are you like scared of how competitive you can be? Or is it just like, I don't,
No,
like
I
the
just don't like. I don't
toxicness of-
like the thought of. Obviously, like everybody's judging you on a daily basis, but like being in an environment where you're like being judged on like how you do something and like your appearance, I don't really like it. Like it's just not comfortable for me. Some people love competition, like
Yeah.
like being in competitions, but I just don't. I don't favor it.
I don't think, personally, I feel like if your relationship, if your friendship, and even your romantic relationship, like that happens, right? Where you're more successful than your partner, vice versa, who makes the more money, whatever. Like, I feel like if you have that kind of a mindset with your friends or significant other, it's just immature, man.
Yeah,
It's
I think
just petty.
there's a right way to go about it where you can keep boosting each other up instead of being like, I'm gonna make more money than you, and that like should motivate you to
Yeah.
make more.
Yeah.
Like, I think the way that you go about it is not like competition, but like challenging each other,
Inspiring
Yeah.
each other.
Inspiring.
yeah, in
Don't
like a healthy
put
way.
don't wish that the other person fails or
Right.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's one reason why I stopped competing in jiu-jitsu as much was because I would get too competitive to where
Yeah.
like I would go to like an unhealthy place in my head in order to win.
Yeah.
Like I would have to like get like tell myself things and like go to like be like I'm gonna like I would try to convince. It was so funny. Like there's this one tournament where like in my mind I was like, okay, this person that I'm about to compete with, like let's pretend like the gold medal is, I just was pretending it was something that I already had,
Yeah.
and that this person was trying to steal it from me.
Yeah.
Like that they were gonna come into my house and take it from me, and I was getting so mad
Yeah.
that they were gonna do that. It was like someone was gonna rob you, and I had a chance to like beat up this robber before they actually did it. And so like it's just interesting, like little mind games that I'd have
That's
to do.
acting.
Really?
That's acting. They say when
Oh.
you have to look at someone and you have to make out with someone and you're totally not attracted to them, to just imagine you're looking at your favorite dish of food. You just like switch it out to get that same physical reaction. You were acting, Jeremy.
Dang, that blew
Actor.
my mind.
Dude, that's unreal.
That's acting.
So is it, I guess.
It's called substitution.
Oh, so maybe it's not as toxic as I thought it was. I thought like,
Well,
man,
I mean,
like.
if you're using it to kill someone, yeah, it's not healthy, Jeremy.
Yeah, the nature of what I was doing when I was in that mindset maybe was like not, because you're like, you making out with someone versus me strangling someone is a little
Yeah.
different, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's something like, so I didn't really like the place I'd go to try to motivate myself. And it was weird because I would do competitive stuff my whole life. Like, you know, I played football all the way through college, and I never had to really go to that place in my head for football. But for some reason, maybe it's just because it was fighting, like jujitsu, that I would like go to like a worse place, like not as healthy of a place. And I never went there besides when I would do jujitsu. And
Is it because it's like kind of like one-on-one?
maybe because all the other things I did mainly were team sports. And I think it's just like you were like I would focus on the team more, and like then how much I cared for doing my job for the team rather than hating the other team. Like, I want to smash this person. I'd be like, no, I want to execute my job because I want our team to succeed. Whereas like in jiu-jitsu, it's like, yeah, it's very one-on-one. It's very personal. Like, you're like, this person's trying to hurt me, so I'm going to hurt them first. Not hurt like physically, you know, like I never wanted to like
physically.
I never wanted to break like someone's arm or like, you know, but like
But
you
you
have
wanna
to
submit
kind of,
someone.
yeah, you have to submit them. So you basically have to get really close to doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was felt a little more unhealthy. That's why one of the reasons why like I wouldn't compete as much as I should have.
So we went way off
We
topic
totally
of
did.
relationships.
We freaking like, we're gonna bring it back around or no?
I will ask a random question that will bring us back. What are some things that you're willing to do that's against societal norms of what a relationship should be? Whether it's friendship or familial relationships or romantic relationships. What is some things that you do that's outside of the box compared to what society tells you?
I'm not tell me if it is or not, but kind of what I do, like in friendships, I feel like I'm a really low maintenance friend, and so I don't really text back a lot.
Oh, wait, no. It's true.
That's how you feel when she doesn't text you back?
Yeah, Lee's a very bad texter.
I'm a bad texter. I'm always late to the group chat. And so a lot of people would see that as like, oh, she doesn't care. She's a bad friend. But it's not true. I do care.
Yes.
It's just that I don't know, like in my own little world.
Yes, it's very true.
And honestly, I have my phone on Do Not Disturb.
You
So
do not.
I do.
All the time?
All the time.
Why?
But I don't know. I need to fix something in my settings because like it's just always on Do Not Disturb. Like I miss calls. I miss like everything. And so it's like I don't see the text, but even when I do, sometimes I like message back in my mind. If that makes sense. I'm like, oh, or like I'll respond to it, or I don't think that I need to respond to it.
Yeah.
Depending on what the message is and depending on who the friend is, they'll be like, what the heck? Like, girl, like message me back.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I do that's not really okay. That I, depending on if it makes the person upset, then I'll like try to be a better texter. But if I know the person like understands, then it's like, oh, cool.
Do you think I understand?
I feel like you do.
I do. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's Lee. She read the message, but she's not responding. Got it.
I feel like you understand. And that it's fine. Like I remember I was like coming over, and then like you messaged me. You were like, "Oh, like are you busy?" And I was like, "No, I'm here." Like I didn't even let you know that I was like on my way.
Yeah, no, that's Lee in a nutshell.
So yes, but if you want me to be a better texter, Ramona, I can for you.
You do you,
Wow.
girl. I'm
Thank
fine
you.
with. I'm fine with. Okay, so this is my thing. That's against the
I
grain.
like that you're aware of it though. Like that, I just want to say that. Like,
Yeah,
it's
props to
good.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My thing is I'm also low maintenance in a way, as in I'm down for whatever as long as we're open about communicating it. Like I'm down for like a last second adventure. I'm always down to do something crazy. I'm down for like anything. Like I don't really have like a this is what should be and what shouldn't be type of mindset. I would say that that's my most against the grain quality. Like if you, Lee, one day want to dress up as an 80-year-old man with me and go bar hopping, we will do that.
I could see you both doing
That would actually
I
be
could see
really
you both
fun.
doing
Yeah,
it.
like anything. Like I'm just down. As long as I know what's up on the day of, I'm down. That's my most
Love that.
against the grain quality.
That's so adventurous. Mine is like, we kind of talked about this last time. It was like, I think I'm too optimistic or forgiving of like in relationships to a fault, where it's like in a lot of people, it's like if they have a friend that kind of wrongs them, they're just like, oh, that's not a good friend, and they just like aren't as close to that person anymore. Where I'm like give them way too many chances and like always try to see the good in them, or maybe like in. I don't know if this is a good or bad thing. It's kind of like, it's like in a job interview where like, what's your bad quality? And you're like, I just work too hard, like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just too forgiving of a friend, like I'm not trying to be like that, but
But literally, you're too forgiving
I am.
as a friend.
I am. And it's,
Yeah.
I'm getting better, maybe because of that, that one friend that I want to distance myself from a little bit.
From episode
From
one.
episode 1. So go back to episode 1 if you missed that. But yeah, I think I just need to look at people's actions more and take it for what they're worth, and because it's just like we all like don't have, we're all so busy that I don't know, like we don't have time. Like you want to spend time with the people that mean the most to you and that care about you, that actually care about you and your interests, and you care about them. And it's like if you're just like wasting time with like these friends that aren't real friends, then it's just like it's not fulfilling in the end. And I don't know.
That is one thing I will not do. However, jumping off of what you're saying, like if someone ever makes me feel shitty or treats me in a way that I don't value, I will leave so fast and, never talk to you, and you will never know that. You will never know what happened.
Oh,
I will
shit.
I
Ghost
will
'em.
just ghost.
LA's gotten to
That's
you.
so great.
I love it.
I love that. I feel like I relate more to you, Jeremy, because I also am very forgiving and like
To
tend
a
to give
fault.
to a fault, and tend to give people more chances than I should.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at that for sure.
It's
tough.
hard.
Tough. Like, I don't know. I don't like to be. It feels so mean to cut someone off, but I guess you can distance yourself from them without being like, "F you."
Yeah. That's my only mean quality, disappearing. One day, just no response, nothing. That's my meanest quality.
Dang, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
good. I admire it because I'm not good at that at all.
To each their own. We've gone to about an hour.
Oh wow.
I think this is a good stopping point. So we should end with an inspirational quote or a joke on the spot. I've got a good joke,
I don't.
but let's go around. Should we?
Oh, we all have to come up
I
with
don't
one.
know. Okay,
I don't have one.
I'll go this time.
Okay, good.
Oh shit.
Oh.
The joke was something. Do you want to come into my Charlie factory? No, I don't remember the joke. I had it in my head, and then.
What about your inspirational quote you said yesterday?
Oh yeah. This is what I heard. I'm paraphrasing. This is what a friend of mine told me the other day. To those who no.
Oh, no.
Ah, shit. Oh god. No. Okay, I got it. To those that are on the ground,
Or if you're laying on the ground.
if you're standing on the ground, those who are soaring will always look small. Does that make sense?
Yes. Logically, yes.
So that's why people on
Explain it, Jeremy.
like on the
please,
ground,
explain it.
let's say if someone's soaring, that's why the people on the ground are try to talk shit to that person that's soaring because they look small to them even though they're.
So this ties into like a Christian Bale paraphrasing quote that I heard. He said like, "Oh, people that are above you never criticize you. It's only people that are below you that are critical of you," which is true because people that suck are always going to talk shit about you.
Yeah.
And people that are in a better, higher place are always trying to help, and they're always understanding and supportive.
Even if they are in a higher place and they're talking shit about you, then like mentally they're below you.
In some aspects, they are below you.
Yeah.
Have you heard of those crabs that they put in a bucket? Have you heard that thing?
Yeah. What is that?
So they
crab
when
bucket theory.
When they catch crabs, I don't know what kinds of crab, but they just put them in a bucket and they don't have to put a lid on it. Because if one crab decides to try to climb up and out of it, the other crabs will pull it back down. And if it tries to climb up again, they'll pull it down and it'll rip its arms off.
Why?
And its claws off so it can't get out because they don't want to see
some other
someone
crab
doing better than them.
escaping. Or
Yeah.
like they want to like use them to climb up, so they pull them down while they're trying to get ahead.
Jeez.
Which is interesting because it
Vicious.
ties into our competitive whatever
true.
nature
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we
Yeah.
talked about.
Also-
Okay, there we go.
yeah.
Full circle.
Boom.
Boom.
Bruh.
We gotta play something else. What?
There's people that are dying.
Kim, there's people that are dying.
What's the bottom one? The very last one.
Run.
We'll end on this note. Bye, guys.
Run.
That's it, guys. We did it. Bye.